Hello, my name is Ken Orvik and I do internet marketing, web development, and web design here at Strength Portal. Before coming to Strength Portal, I've done SEO for various companies in the past, one including a yoga company, a hotel property, local restaurants and businesses in small towns and big towns, and also a lot of online businesses as well. But the point of today's video is I wanted to talk about the basics of SEO and how it could be related to your online business, your online blog, things of this nature. For those of you who have never heard of SEO, I typed in what is SEO on Google and got this answer. Search engine optimization is the process of affecting the visibility of a website or web page in a search engine's natural or unpaid organic search results. So what you're looking at right now from Google is a SERP, a search engine results page. And if you've never really analyzed it before, there's usually ads at the top, noted by ad symbols here, ads to the right, and anything below the ads is organic listings. And organic listings are determined by Google, who has tons of algorithms that they use with robots or spiders that crawl throughout the whole entire internet, a lot of pages of the internet, and determine through ranking factors what should be placed at the top or on the first page for certain queries or certain keywords that people type in. And so the process of SEO is really trying to get to the top, creating or using certain practices so you can meet these ranking factors and excel at them. In the end, SEO isn't big and scary. Even though there's a lot of technical knowledge associated with it, you really don't need tons of experience or have done it for many different websites in order to understand what you can do to get off on the right foot when creating your website. In the end, it's not magic. It's all about content with some technical knowledge sprinkled in, which we're going to go over today. So what is content? Content is the text on your website, the videos, the images that you share. But the different types, it could be valuable service or product. I mean, Amazon provides products, which is their content that people like to come by. Or Strength Portal provides a software that trainers like to use, and so it's a valuable service to them. There's also informational websites, websites where it tells you how to bake chicken properly or change the tire in your car. They're pretty much static. And then even though dynamic pages and blogs can be informational as well, I kind of separated them out because if you have very quality blogs that you're updating a lot, it's really good content in Google's eyes, especially if it's unique and quality where people are coming back and reading it and sharing it and sharing it around the web. Also, there's videos and images, embedding videos across many different websites. Images is also something that you see a lot of nowadays. Facebook is really emphasizing that. You can see a lot more videos popping up in news streams, things of that nature. So what should you be thinking about? Always number one is providing unique quality content. So let's say that you're a blogger and you're talking about strength training. You don't want to just be posting, copy and pasting ideas from other websites or just doing very bland commentary on someone's article. You want to really create unique content that can be that's shareable and that people want to come back and read because of it. Second one is write text to the user, not the search engine. Those of you who have heard of SEO in the past might think that, okay, SEO is all about making the search engines happy. I have to put in a bunch of my keywords over and over again so Google knows that my web page is going to be about that certain subject. In the past, that had some validity to it, but nowadays, you just want to write conversationally. You want to write to the user. And Google, other search engines will also be able to pick up on that as well if you try to just stuff keywords in right to the search engines. Just be fluid, be conversational through text, and really write to the user. Third one is to keep people on your site. So let's say that you're a local trainer. I'm in Berkeley, California. Local trainer in Berkeley, California. And on your website, it just says your name, Joe Schmo's personal training website in Berkeley, and then has your contact information with maybe like one image of your face. Even though it gets the job done, people know that you're a personal trainer in Berkeley and that they can contact you through that contact information. It's not content. You're not providing content to keep people on your site, to keep people interested. I mean, in that example, it'd be awesome to have like a services page or a section where you talk about the different services you offer, and then maybe an about page where you talk about things you've done in the past. These are all things that keep people on your website And it's good for your business because more people will learn about you and want to know your background and get to know you a little bit better before giving you a call. But also it's great because search engines will be able to tell, okay, are people coming around, looking at the different pages, seeing what they like, then going to contact page and really getting your information. That's something that we'll talk about a little bit in the future on a more technical side, but keeping people on your site, create unique quality content. The fourth one is promoting yourself and link building. Again, I've kind of put this at the end, but it's connected to quality content. So if you create good content, people are going to want to link to it and they're going to want to share it. But a really big part of SEO is link building, and that means getting people to link to your websites or link to your blog posts. And so when you want to, moving forward, when you're creating a website and creating a business plan, you want to think about, okay, who can I have partnerships with? Who are my friends? Are they related to my industry? And if so, getting a link to your website from theirs is a great opportunity for you and can provide a lot of what's called link juice, but in an SEO term, but providing a lot of good ranking factors for your website. So best practices when actually writing the text for your website. This is kind of diving a little bit deeper into content and providing you unique quality content. But you want to think about the H1 or title tags. So if you're working with a template website like Squarespace or Wix or WordPress, a lot of times it's going to be called title, the title tags or title areas. But if you're just building a website from scratch, it's the H1 tags, H2 tags, which stands for heading. And you want these to contain the main keywords for your website. So, looking at Strength Portal here, this is an H1 tag that I put in there, and it contains the word a web and mobile platform to train your fitness clients online. So you can see web and mobile is something I want to focus on, train, and fitness online. These are all keywords that I want Google to know. Okay, these are things that we specialize in, that we do, and all of these are also title tags as well. Workouts, track and communicate, mobile, client management, and it keeps them going down and down. But when you're creating your website, you want to make sure that those main keywords are up there. So instead of, like, for example, being here, just say Ken's awesome workout plan. It's not showing the user, and it's not showing the search engines that that's your main topic. Oh, too fast. Be sure to mention your location, service, or product multiple times on significant pages. What I mean by that is, in your text, you want to be reinforcing that these are the keywords, these are the things that you're focusing on. Programs, again, sharing with clients, online, mobile devices. So I'm reinforcing these keywords are also in the title tags, but I'm also writing in a way that's very conversational. I don't want to just type in here mobile devices build programs. You want to write it in a very easy way to read. As far as like location or service goes, that means that on your website, you want to have multiple pages that say, okay, you are, if let's use the example again that you're a local trainer in Berkeley, you want to have multiple pages that say you are a personal trainer in Berkeley, that you're looking to get clients there. Or if you're an online trainer, you say, I'm an online trainer who has trained people from all around the world. You want to make it obvious to the user reading it and also the search engines exactly what you do. And you do this through text. Now, going back to what I said before about write to the text and not to the search engines, you don't want, when I say multiple times, you don't want every other word or every paragraph to include local trainer in Berkeley, California. I also do training on the side, but I'm mostly a local trainer in Berkeley, California. You don't want to keep on mentioning that. Again, keep it conversational. The third is linking to other content. So I was talking about link building before, how it's really beneficial to have people link to your website, but it's also important for you to link to other places around the web. I know that like Tony Gentilcore on his website, he has like an articles page where he talks about all the different articles that he's written around the web, and it's good practice. It allows the search engines to see, okay, this person, not only are they trying to be not only are they a leader in their industry, or they're trying to be, but they're also connecting with the industry that they're in. So they're giving links out and keeping people online, keeping people reading things. So that's good. You want to be linking to other content. A good example of that, if you're writing like a blog and you wrote another blog post, you want to link to that blog post while you're writing, or maybe you're referencing another article that you read. Link to that article. I mean, you don't have to do the top of it, but linking to that article passes link juice around, and Google likes to see that, or search engines in general. Going on the more advanced side, if you're going to be using a template website like Squarespace or Wix or WordPress, a lot of times these are included in it, but if you're building it from scratch, it's also good to think about these while you're building. But site design, Google can, or search engines in general, can read the code on your website and see if it's user-friendly, if you have a bunch of images at the top and very little text, or all text and no other types of media on your website. So you want to be making sure that you have a good current site design that has good user interface. Second one, mobile compatibility. I mean, searching or searches on search engines with mobile devices has been growing crazy over the last couple of years. So you want to make sure that you have a mobile friendly site, and Google and other search engines will also reward you for that as well. And the third one is site speed. Again, gets really technical, but you want to make sure that all the images on your site are optimized, that you don't have any sort of code being rendered that's going to take 5 seconds to load, and you will be rewarded by that by the search engines. So now we talked about kind of the content and setting everything up. I want to move more into like the services side and the technical side, and what services you can set up to help you moving forward from an SEO standpoint. So the first one is Google Analytics. I'm going to switch to my other screen. This is Google Analytics. It's a service provided by Google for free that allows you to see all the users that are coming to your website, where they came from, their demographics, the language they speak, if they're on a mobile device, how they're going out throughout your website. There's a lot of information here, but I kind of just want to go over the basics. So as far as setting up Google Analytics, once you create an account and sign in, you can go to admin, and I think they actually give you this code when you first sign up as well, but you can go admin, tracking info, tracking code. And so if you're using like a WordPress plugin, a lot of times they'll just have a tracking ID that you can copy and paste. Squarespace is the same way as well. If you go into settings, advanced, and I think it's like third-party connections or something like that, you can copy and paste your tracking ID only, and then you're set up, ready to go. If not, you want to copy and paste this code into every web page of your website that you want to track. So I usually put it into the footer of every page on a site. And once you have this code in, it's really just drag and drop or copy and paste. You will start receiving information right afterwards. Not real time, but next day or so. So this is a very basic website that I had set up, and there's not a lot of traffic, as you can see, but it could be really valuable over time. You can see on like certain days, okay, if I went like hourly, that at let's say right here, 2 o'clock, my sessions jumped up, and you want to know why, or you can find the average, the most valuable time to post like a blog post by how many people usually come to your site and what hours during the day, things like that. It's a really good kind of overview for your website. Bounce rate goes into what I was saying before about keeping people on your website, but you want this to be as low as possible. If you can get below the 10% mark, that's great. But those are people that came to your website and then immediately leave. So you want that to be as low as possible, because you'll get a lot of good juju from the search engines because of it. So usually what I do when I first come into Google Analytics is I go to acquisition down here, all traffic, source, and medium. And so on this page, it lists out all the different places around the web that people are getting to your website from. So Google Organic is usually probably going to be your first if you're just trying to be someone that can be found locally or through the search engine results page. And all the other ones, let's say if you have like a partnership, like I was saying before, with another trainer in the area, and you guys are referring clients to each other. If you want to see how many people are coming from his website or her website, this is shown right through here. which is a really great way to see, okay, how much are my marketing efforts or how much are my efforts link building working around the web. Again, it says sessions, users, bounce rate is included here, pages per session, keeping people on the website. The more you keep there, the more pages they'll see, the average session duration. Goals are something that you set up and are kind of more of an advanced topic that we can maybe talk about in the future. But right now, I'm going to go back up to audience. Demographics is great. You can see age, gender. You can see that all right here. I think I haven't set it up yet, but you can enable it. Geo, location, and language, also really good if you're like getting clients from all over the world and you really want to see where the most amount of people are getting to your website from. That can be seen here. Another one, mobile is always good too. User flow. User flow, I really like this page. You can change this and say the source medium. And it shows you how people are going throughout your website. It's kind of a bad example because I only have a one-page website being hooked up right now. But let's say I have 10. It shows, okay, most people came to the home page and then they went to the services page and then they went back to the home page and then left. So maybe they're not, or you can see the red line off to the right is showing how many people left your website after going to that page. Let's say that you have a pricing page and you notice that most people leave once they get to your pricing page. Maybe there's something with your pricing there or something's not really working on that page. And so this is a really good place to kind of see that visually. But it's also, you can be seen down the behavior, site content. It kind of talks about all the different pages on your website and how many people come, how many people leave. And then also site speed, we talked about that before, but if you want to go through here and see if the site speed for each one of your pages is good, this is a great place to do it. So I think the second one was Webmaster Tools. So Webmaster Tools is another service provided by Google, and though it does have analytics to it, it's more seeing the overview of your website, the kind of the way you set it up and seeing if everything's good. The first thing you want to do, or when you first sign up for Webmaster Tools, it's going to ask you to confirm that you're actually the webmaster for your site or your business. If you have an analytics account through the same website or through the same Google account, usually it'll just automatically connect. But if not, you have to upload, copy and paste the piece of code into your website, or you have to sign up through GoDaddy, put in your GoDaddy account. But the first thing you want to do is set up a sitemap. Now, if you're working with, again, WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, they're going to have these sitemaps already in place, or they're not going to matter. They're going to have some sort of other thing. But if you don't have, if you're creating your website from scratch, you want to click on sitemaps, and it asks you to upload one to your website. You can go XML sitemap generator. First link is the one you want to go to. You just type in the name of your website right here. It creates the sitemap for you, which is just, the sitemaps in the end are just the architecture of your website that makes it really easy for these spiders or these robots to go throughout your website. But it's going to spit out a file. You upload that to the directory of your website. Then go back to Webmaster Tools and say, okay, I want to add sitemap.xml. Submit, boom, it's going to be there. Not extremely important. I just kind of wanted to go over that if you're creating your own website from scratch. So the best things about this Webmaster Tools area is search queries. Is one of them is search queries. So it tells you, a query is what people type in on, I mean, in this case in Google, to get to your website. And so I can see, okay, San Luis Obispo SEO. When someone typed that in, they got this. 5 people saw it. No one clicked on it. Click through rate is CTR. How many of people that actually saw my website pop up, clicked on it, and then my average position in the search results. So it's 120 back. And don't think that I'm on the 120th page. It's this kind of generic numbers, kind of not extremely accurate, but it gives you a good example of where you are. In the future, if you're ranking really well for SEO, these will all be under 10 on the top 10 positions. So that's a great way to see the different queries that people are getting to your site from. Links to your site. I'm going to show you some tools in the future as well to see this data a little bit better. But links to your site, if my internet goes, is who's linking to your website. You can also see this in analytics more or less. but this is a good way to see all the information. You can export all this data to Excel if you really want to get deep into it. Another cool thing about this Webmaster Tools is content and keywords. So when Google's going through your website, it sees all the words that you're typing and sees, okay, I use SEO a lot on this website. And then I also did company, Bay Area. These content keywords should reflect the main keywords, the main focus of your business or your blog. So let's say that, again, you're a local personal trainer in Berkeley. You want to have probably the top 5 to 10 keywords be personal trainer, Berkeley, California, training, strength, all the keywords that relate to your business. And this is a good way to test it out. And also, I think if you click on it, it tells you exactly on what page. Yeah, it tells you on what page there are as well. Going back to the slide. So what to focus on first? Now that you have these two services set up, it's going to be time to really go in and do some of the more technical side of the SEO world. Now, so this is like very basic. Meta tags is something that everyone should do. Now the schema, open graph, and Twitter card are not so much more important, but I kind of wanted to show you what they are and kind of where the trend is going with that. But meta tags are the most important thing, I think, I would say, when setting up the technical side of SEO. So looking at strengthportal.com, if I go to view and developer and view source, I can see the source of the page and what this is. You can do this on any page with any browser. It just gives me the straight HTML and JavaScript that is for the website. And the first thing at the top you see is the title tag. And this is a meta tag that I was talking about. And it says Strength Portal Online Personal Training Software. You can notice that it also shows right up here, the top tab. It's the title of your website. And also when you type in the company's name on Google, that's the thing that pops up. The next thing below that you'll see is the description. The description is denoted here. Meta content equals the description that I put in, and then the name equals description. And if you want to not just go back to this video and see how to do that code, you can always just type in meta tag title. And Moz, which I'm actually going to show you the tool in a little bit, has examples in code that you can basically copy and paste into there. The same with description as well. So with title tag, you want this to be the absolute biggest keyword for your website. So the market that Strength Portal is trying to go after is online personal trainers who are looking for software. And so after doing a bunch of research, we found out that we really like this keyword, these keywords together: online personal trainer software. But this should be okay. If I had a number one wish to be number one in the search engine results page, what would be the keyword that I would want, and that's put here. Now, I think there's a length or a limit of 50 to 60 characters, I think, on Google. Google title tag length, 50 to 60 characters, right? So if you do more than that amount of characters, you get things like this ... which is okay for like certain blog post names, but for titles of websites, you definitely want to try to keep it in that range. Also, it's important including the name of your website, or if you have like a brand, you want to put it there. Each one of your blog posts or each one of your pages should reflect that. There's a lot of talk about what the best way to do inside pages are. I think for Strength Portal, I said just like on the features page, I just said Strength Portal product features. Product features is something that people are going to be looking for. Pricing as well. Pricing for Strength Portal. So I did the title tags more in a conversational type way, but I've seen a lot of people do just Strength Portal and then this straight line up, and whatever the page is, features, pricing, and contact. Either way is fine as long as you have the correct title and you're not trying to overly stuff keywords in there that are more than 50 to 60 characters. Now, description tags have two purposes. One, you're trying to grab the attention of the user. So if we just had Strength Portal Online Personal Trainer Software, and then in the content we just said personal training software for online trainers, I mean, yeah, it gets the point across, they get the description, but it's not really grabbing. We're missing out on the opportunity to also include other types of keywords or things that the user really wants to see. So in this case, we added create programs, track progress, increase client retention, because we know that's these are all things that online trainers really would like software and help doing online. So yeah, those are the two main most important ones: title tags and meta descriptions. In the past, if you worked with SEO, there's also the meta content with keywords. Keywords were so spammed out. I mean, people would have, huge headers with tons of keywords in it. So in the end, kind of Google just took them out. But they still have some relevancy, but they're really not that needed so much anymore. So the schema markup, schema.org, if you want to check it out. It's basically what says to mark up HTML pages in a way that search engines can really recognize exactly what you do. So instead of going into deep, you can go through all the documentations here, but you really don't need to. You can see Strength Portal as an example, going down schema. So we just said, okay, the name of the company name is Strength Portal. We also said the description is this description here. The image, you can also create an image, and I think with schema, I think that's what, like, if I just typed in like Twitter, this image pops up for Twitter. I can probably guess that this is what their schema image is. And instead of trying to figure out what that code is, if you just type in schema generator, the top one, and exactly what you want to be. So if you're a person, you can click on person and type in what you want to be here. So Joe Schmo, I don't know how to spell Schmo, and it gives you the code right here. So that's great. You can have that be in the top of your website or anywhere else throughout the website, and search engines like it. I would recommend kind of going through here, reading a little bit about it on schema.org, but it's a good practice moving forward. And then also really important, like schema information. I think if you went to like Amazon camera, they don't have any ratings. Let's do vacuum cleaner. So they're not showing any good examples in the organic area, but that's the problem on their part. But these stars right here, the 4.5, and then the stars that are listed below is schema information that you can put through on your web page for like certain products, or maybe you want to review a certain blog post or something like that. You can do it all through schema information. I think they give you if you're doing like a product, give you an area to put that in down below to average rating based on how many reviews. So maybe you want to review yourself as a personal trainer. That's a good area to do it. Next one we have up is Open Graph. Open Graph can be used kind of the same way that Schema has, but you want to think of it as the protocol for Facebook and how your information is shared on Facebook. So this is the website. You can read all the information about it, but I'm just going to show you the example that Strength Portal uses. So we say the title of our website is Strength Portal. The type is a website. And then this picture right here is the image that we want to be shared. So anytime that you put in a Strength Portal link on Facebook, this is the image that's going to pop up unless it's like a blog post or something like that. The URL, and then also the content again. It's very similar to Schema, and it's also going to be similar to the Twitter card data, but it's used for Facebook. Twitter card is the exact same as Open Graph, but it's more focused on Twitter. It comes from their development center. I think I might have had it up on the other page. Yeah, Twitter cards. And so at the very bottom, if you just typed in, I think I just typed in Twitter card on the Google developers, gives you some information, but it's basically telling Twitter when someone shares a link about your blog post or your website, what format to give that in. And you can say choose the card type you want to implement. It walks you through pretty well, and then spits out a code for you to use on your website. Oop. Go back. And then content. Content is always going to be number one thing to focus on at first. And we talked about a little bit before what to write, how to write it, but I just wanted to refocus on that. So let's say that after a while you have your website set up, analytics, webmaster tools, you have all the content written in, you have a pretty good idea of how your website is, or at least you think you got your website on the right foot from an SEO standpoint. Now you can use some analysis tools that are provided for free, which are pretty sweet, that give you good insight to other companies that you respect and how they're doing on their SEO, and then you can also look up your own. You might have just noticed I did a transition to this new cut. I wanted to use a better example for the website. Before I was using Wikipedia.org, which was a little too big and didn't really give a good example. So in this example, I wanted to use 4hourworkweek.com. This is a website run by Tim Ferriss to promote his books, and also has blog posts and articles on it, which are really great to read, and it has a lot of traffic to them. So once you type in something into SEMrush, this is what comes up. And usually what I'm doing here is I'm looking at traffic. So normally you're going to be putting in a competitor, but you can also analyze your own website through this tool. But I can see, okay, back in January 10th or 2010, his traffic was pretty low, and then all of a sudden in July 2010, it shot up almost 100% to 200,000. So this is kind of good to see what your competitors' traffic level is like, how long they've been around for, and why they're kind of getting this traffic. So if I scroll down, I can go down to organic keywords, and these are the keywords that the website ranks for. So if you typed in Tim Ferriss, he's position 1 on Google. So if I type in, I'm guessing like Tim Ferriss, 4-Hour Workweek comes up first, and that's what this is saying right here. And how to lose weight fast. It's going to be promoting his the weight loss book, and that's in position 6 from 7. So it also tells you how they've been moving up and down in the rankings over time. So this is a great way if you're just starting out your website to come here, type in competitors, type in websites that you want to emulate, and see what keywords they're ranking for. Also, you can see if they're running ads, the competitors for them in ads, the competitors for them or in the organic search, and this gives you a good start to go out and see the different websites from here as well, to give you a good guide to different websites in the industry. You can go through here and everything's free. There's a free plan. I know that after a certain amount of time, if you're clicking on things, they want you to upgrade to Pro, but I think it resets every 24 hours. But for most of the things that you're going to be doing in the beginning, starting off, you will just use the free plan. Now the other tool that I wanted to show you was Open Site Explorer from Moz. Moz is a great company that has a set of products that make it easier to manage the SEO for your website, and they also have a local product area as well that makes it really easy to post your different listings to various different websites. So in the URL, I'm going to put in 4-Hour Workweek as well. And just to mention too, the Learn community and blogs, they're great if you want to learn more about SEO. I mean, I still read the blogs almost every day to learn about new things in the industry, and they do a really good job. So the purpose of this tool is I really look at the domain authority, page authority, and then the links pointing to my website, which are shown below. Domain authority and page authority is the ranking given by Google, and in this case Moz, to your domain and to the specific page that you put in the URL for, and the higher the better. I mean, I think if we put in Strength Portal, it'd be like around 24 or 30, which is decent, but this is a lot better, obviously. And like a website like Wikipedia or Google would have the 100 domain authority, 100 page authority. But it's important to know competitors in that area, or competitors' domain authority, because it kind of gives you an idea of how much competition you're going to be having when you're trying to do your SEO for your industry or for your blog or for your page, and compete with other websites that are doing the same thing. Looking down below, you can look at your own link structure here. These are all backlinks, or links that are pointing to the website from other places around the web. And so for 4-Hour Work, we can see that the highest rated one is theatlantic.com. It's probably a specific article. And they have a page authority of 82 and a domain authority of 96, which is extremely high, which means that this link is very valuable to the 4-Hour Workweek, and really boosts them in the rankings for certain keywords because of this link. So when you're going to competitors' websites, you can see, okay, who is linking to their website? Can I also get a link on my website from them as well? And this is the great place to do it. There's also some other tools that you can see from Moz over on the left, keyword difficulty, and there's one that it's really good as well, and it helps you judge how much competition you're going to have in your area. But again, these tools are really great, and definitely check them out, especially after you get a few months underneath your belt and get some data coming in. This is a great place to go and check those things out. So coming toward the end, takeaways. Set up your analytics and leave it be. It's the more time you let analytics collect data from day to day, the better it's going to be over time. I can't see you just setting it up and the next day really spending a lot of time on it. Give it a month, give it a couple months, depending on what traffic is coming to your website, and then kind of go back and focus on that. SEO is never going to be something that you can just plug in one day and immediately see results. It's going to be something that you have to do over 3 months, 6 months, and really work on it, especially if you're a new starting business. Always focus on quality content. It's just number one. I mean, I could talk to you about technical things all day with SEO, but in the end, it's all about creating quality content that wants to be shared, that people want to read and people want to come back to. And if you do that, you could mess up in the worst way probably on SEO, but if you have the best quality content on the web, the search engines will reward that. Be sure just to focus on quality content. In the end, don't try to beat the system. Just be genuine. Don't try to think, okay, Google likes to see these certain keywords in this place and this keywords in that place, so I'm going to overdo that area and try to beat the system. No, no, no. Don't try to do that. It's kind of back in the day that was acceptable. There was like a lot of black hat SEOs, they're called, that did these crazy things like hide millions of links behind the web page so no one could see it, but they were all there in the code. And that used to work, but now search engines and Google and Bing are just so smart that you can't try to beat the system. Just write your good quality content. Set up your website in the right way, and the rest should follow. And then link building for the win. Create good content, but also be mindful of the fact that links that point to your websites, especially ones that are related to your industry, are always going to be the best for your SEO. Also, I wanted to show you, if you're more interested in this topic as well, I think it's called Moz SEO Guide. Yeah. Free beginner's guide to SEO. It's like a long page. I think there's a PDF that you can download as well. Yeah, chapters that talk to you about the very basics of SEO, and it will kind of go explain what I explained a little bit better, and also kind of give you more in depth. But I hope today's video was helpful. We definitely want to hear your feedback on it, and I want to do more specific videos for things in the future. But yeah, have a great day.